Hello there everyone and welcome back. It's time to do another video with the Tau Protector fleet, and I am going to continue on with the the six cruiser type fleet here. Since honestly, I did try to experiment about switching out these protectors for 2 bastions maybe, but the points wouldn't allow me, alas. Hell, why am I trying to put a stronghold in there? That might be part of my problem, but no. I'm about 40 points short, so it wasn't very likely, even if I did downgrade to the regular, the longer range lances, or at least the ones that give me slightly less points, so I would have had a little bit of fun with that fleet, since it would have still kept true to the strengths of the 6 cruiser, or at least the 6 protector type fleet at least. I would have had fighters on everything, I would have had a lot of burst potential, never mind the potential the cutting beams would have to offer. Hell, it's not even possible to get a 5th protector with that said. Try as I might, it's close but not enough in this regard. So I kind of relegate myself to sticking with what we had before, especially since we kind of left wanting a little bit with me fighting against Voidstalkers all episode. So hopefully we're going to get a little bit of variety this time and just see the true potential that this fleet has. Okay, Space Marines, and this is a different portrait altogether, so I think we know where this came from. It's the reward for, I imagine, the rank, if I had to guess. But Space Marine, the concept is still the same. I want to keep my distance from them, ideally cripple them, so that way they can't get close to me, so I think I'm going to continue targeting the engines for that reason alone. It's going to be tricky doing that to multiples of at least their entire fleet, or at least a good portion of their fleet, but we've seen I can get at least a permanent engine critical hit really damn quickly. It's just a matter of if I can do that to multiple ships before I run out of steam. And by steam, it's this combination of stasis bomb and of course the combustion gauge. But otherwise, we have the raw power as well, but everything's still going to have a little bit of work cut out for him, since we are dealing with 83 armor all around. Even with the armor piercing potential, we're still doing what? 50? I can't remember the math off the top of my head. It's about 56, 57 armor maybe, once the armor piercing kicks in. So it's not going to be simple. We still will have to do double their health's worth of damage roughly, and that's not even including the railguns, which we've seen can take an eternity if utilized poorly. But again, they can get the critical hits with the combination of the Monka. What I would love to do is try and have one of my squadrons actually be able to hit the fleet there pretty much unhindered, ideally. So that way I can maximize the value of my marker, my scanner pulse, and the Monka benefit. I would like to think so anyway. That's what I would want to aim for. And since we do have emission dissipators, I'm kind of free to boost away too. Anything else I'm going to swap over as well? Although once I'm revealed, this emission dissipator is not helpful unless I make good use of the gas cloud. So I think my biggest thing to note is to be able, really think on where my fallback points are going to be. So that way if I do get revealed, I'm conveniently flying towards a gas cloud or even an asteroid belt. Even though that's a little more trickier and takes more time, so I probably am going to avoid that route. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. And with emission dissipator I can kind of aggressively boost forward too, and with the sheer amount of fighters it should be almost impossible for any boring torpedoes to hit me, in theory. And the timer just ran out, so I was worried maybe my opponent just AFK'd out. Nope. Lots of lances and fighter bays, which is kind of interesting. We're seeing this a lot. I guess Space Marines don't want to use 5 strike cruisers for torpedoes, alas. So what I'm going to try and do maybe... Well, I'm probably going to get revealed, but I was hoping to have these fighters kind of just shoot down their Stormhawks. Actually, I never did check upgrades either. That's something I need to keep in mind. So armor piercing and shield generation. Which is kind of odd seeing it on lances, but... especially since the bombardment cans, I'm pretty certain does not benefit off that. I want to go out of a limb and say that's the case. But we'll grab this second point here. Maybe I don't want to go too aggressively grabbing this objective. But once I reveal them, we're golden. Oh, and you recalled your fighters, did you? Or maybe I'm just not seeing them anymore. Gotta keep that in mind.
As the ethereals wish. The enemy has seized
And any free damage I could do is kind of nice. I would like to try for it. Okay, so we'll launch more fighters here. Let my fighters get recalled. Yep, that was easy enough, wasn't it? Can I hit with the railgun? Free damage is still good damage. Especially when I'm about to... Well, helps if I select my dang flagship. That helps a little bit with the pathing. I should try and get greedy, but that doesn't sound like a good idea. I missed the shot completely, so that's a bit of a shame. Now, we are going to launch a lot of fighters here. That was badly launched fighters, but... Okay, one engine gone there, I think. Or no, they're just swapping it out. And apparently my secret missiles hit myself, which is really annoying, but... So you're the priority of the day. Of course, no surprise going after the flagship there. Well, actually, you're going after everything. So I'm going to call to arms with you then. And see about disengaging. Actually, I could just kill this thing now. Maybe. Maybe I'm overestimating my potential here. Yeah, especially since you're ignoring these ships, so... By all means. Just get hit in. Get your reload going. Gotta keep my combustion gauge. Let's not get too carried away. And did I just boost? Well, your engines are down currently, so that doesn't really matter just yet. I would like to launch bombers though, still, but that's going to be tricky. You're out of the picture though. Okay, we got our new group 2. Your engines are gone. Lots of engine critical hits at least, so I'll take that. And I have been identified alas, but that'll be corrected momentarily. Just gotta make sure my arc's kind of spread out, since this is a little bit awkward, needless to say. And their engines are getting repaired, so let's keep that in mind too. How much time do I have? Still a little ways to go before it gets repaired. And actually, disruption bomb's kind of pointless, if I were to be honest. It's just a matter of letting these combustion gauge charge up, in all honesty. This is going to be a little risky with the amount of boarding that they can do, but... Okay. So what do I want to do? I have a few options here. Which does... Well, actually... I am getting bored, but once I retreat this, that helps a ton. I just gotta kill off more of their ships at this point. Flagship is kind of expendable. So long as I do the damage necessary, which that was bad engagement, which is part of the reason why. I just want to retreat. I was planning on retreating with that cursed thing and it didn't work out to my liking. Otherwise, let's get these ships going. Let's get out of here and grab the objectives behind them. Since that's 2 ships gone, they're out in the middle. Oh, the flagship actually did get out. That's convenient of me. That's really damn convenient there. Thank you kindly for allowing that to flee. I don't quite have repair drones or anything like that. But I can bomb them if necessary.
At your orders, Colonel.
what do I need to do? Well, just recharge, alas, is really what it comes down to. Recharge and do the damage necessary, and ideally get a good arc, although with my combustion gauge a little bit inconsistent, it's tricky to do.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Since I want to kill the flagship here, I can boost you out easily enough as a disruption bomb. I have marker lights. Yeah, I'm doing a bad job with the combustion gauge, alas, but...
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Bombing run underway.
You have seized a strategic area.
Those are really bad torpedo angles, alas, but I do have fighters that kind of tank the shots still. They still did well. Now, can we finish this off quickly? Doesn't look like it. I don't have the burst damage anymore, and I'm going to lose a lot of crew here in a moment. Now, the flagship is the next target of the day. So I want to hit this thing hard. Can I fire seeker missiles? I can fire seeker missiles, although I really hate the fact when I focus my camera on a ship, it no longer becomes a valid target for, like, abilities. Really damn irritating. Now let's minimize the damage. Flagship's gone. Now we just gotta prioritize these damage. Because in theory, I have more health than them if they want to play a ramming game, so long as my prow is hitting them. That would be the catch there. Do I have any seeker missiles left, though? Because I think what I want to do is bore to hell at this thing. And let's... Oh yeah, I gotta change my priority some. That might help a little bit here. And ideally don't hit myself in the process. Yeah, this is a victory now. Just need to deal with the point defense now of this last one. And ideally kill this off. I kind of expect to be dead, but the brace for impact helped a little bit in that regard. My. Well, I think we know what happened there. I'm going to go with the assumption that my opponent Alt F forward. Is that how the bug's supposed to work? Well, that's a shame. That's a real damn shame. Okay, Protector Mirror match. You know this is going to be silly if we get 6 Protectors versus 6 Protectors. Although, I think I am comfortable enough trying for a Cao Yang style type of play here. If I can get a good vantage point to get the longer range, and of course the better accuracy. Since I plan, ideally, to play defensively with my fighters. Since I think that will pay off for me immensely, especially if I could dodge the seeker missiles really well. It just comes down to the raw firepower of the railguns, which I have a good spot here, it goes without saying. I just gotta get there before my opponents, I suppose is the catch. I really am tempted to go Cao Yang for this one. It's just a question. The obvious problem with Cao Yang is it restricts where I can go if I want to benefit off it. And I'm not really getting much range considering the middle of the map, unless my opponent wants to grab objectives. Since there's absolutely nothing else I can actually situate myself in if I go this route. And as soon as I'm in here, my opponent's probably already in point blank range. So I'm gonna have to go against that instinct, I think. And rely more on the critical hits, which I'm gonna focus on the generator, because in case you don't know how that works, as soon as the generator dies, my opponent, or at least the ship, loses its heavy armor. So that's the idea, at least. That's what I'm gonna hope for, nonetheless. And then we'll play it by ear. I want to try and engage my opponent and get some free shots quickly, if possible. Unless I want to play super passive, like I use these gas clouds, which is a sure route to not really get anything done. Since my opponent's going to have all the objectives after all. Okay, this looks like potentially what I think it is. Oh yeah, I want generators. So positioning is pretty key, and good use of skills and dodging seeker missiles, or at least mitigating the seeker missiles. And I don't have a mission dissipator, so gotta keep that in mind. And ideally spread you out again. I got my groups backwards, so you're group 2, you're group 1. There we go. There's where a little bit of my confusion is from. Huh, maybe not. We got possibly a custodian, a bunch of protectors. There could always be something hidden in the asteroid belt here. Let's not kid ourselves. So why not confirm that theory? Alright, so we know what the flagship is. I have 5 fighter squadrons to my name. I am confident that things will go in my advantage if I play with my fighters defensively, at least at first. I need to launch... The key thing is to launch them early enough, that way, if they get shot down by our fighters fighting each other, then at least the second wave's available for me to do maybe a counterattack of some kind. Is what I would like to try and get the... At least get the proper timing down. I just launched a single fighter squadron though, so it's going to be tricky to do. And I'm going to dodge... Well, that beacon's probably just going to stop there in all seriousness. And if I had a mission dissipator, maybe I was completely wrong, but they did have a beacon. That... It's a good thing I didn't go counting on, because that would easily negate... Well, I still would have got shot, but I would have actually still kept the Kaoyong range and accuracy bonus. Who am I king? And I don't have someone run the benefit off that. So those are not going to do much to me. But let me launch what fighters I can. I think this is a good timing. They should be able to do... They should be able to contribute for me pretty well. Is what I want to believe. So you got all sorts of everything. I don't know what to expect here. We got Nikasar as well in this fleet.
As the Ethereals wish.
And those fighters, I'm fine with that. Possibly my opponent wants to reveal me for seeker missile shots, so I'm almost wanting to oblige them. Oh, and they have extended sensors too. Let's make a note of that.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
And here comes the seeker missiles already. So I'm in good shape for this here. I just gotta know what the seeker missile's actually going after. With that said, it's the main thing, which looks like they're going after what they, which conveniently I have my fighters going for. Now, where's my frigate? I want to use the targeting coordinator now. I don't... Yeah, if my opponent's using Monka, then I kind of want to maximize my damage on the frigates if I can. Oop. That was a little unfortunate. That is not at all what I want. Yes, flee, my opponent, flee! But I gotta remember, I have experimental railgun. Can I make this stick? You bastard. That was irritating. So fighters are still doing their stuff at least, so I'm getting good value out of them. But we are after all dealing with a custodian. That thing has a lot of fighters to its name. And all in a single squad at that too, so the amount of damage that they can tank is absurd. So can I start launching fighters? Yes, I can. Where's my other frigate? Nope, they're just conveniently grabbing the objective here. So let's kill them off. Watch my shield health, because that's actually going to be really important. Since what we've seen with the Voidstalkers and all that, this will pay huge dividends for me in the long term. Especially if they don't have any more frigates for marking. I just don't have any more fighters to kind of continue on this. Oh. You don't have your marker lights, so... or scanner pulses. I keep calling them marker lights because technically that's what the marker lights did in the tabletop after all. Can I at least hide there and... Oh. Someone's getting desperate. Now, can I shoot down enough of these seeker missiles? That's all I care about here. That's 2 waves of seeker missiles. Just sadly, no fighters to really shoot them down the best.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Ah, dang it. That was unfortunate. I was hoping to do a high energy turn of sorts. But I do have repair drones, so let's get that going. And I also have fighters here conveniently.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Again, just gotta make sure damage is being utilized properly, or at least being spread out the best of their ability.
Target acquired.
Maybe to emphasize my points, I'm gonna try and win this without utilizing a single seeker missile. As bold as and stupid as that may be.
Barracuda shows launched.
Reserve the Copatra.
I want at least one match where I'm confident in the potential of the seeker miss or the railguns. Although they still have a lot of weaponry.
The killing blow.
Can I at least hit something with a railgun? That would be kind of nice.
Bound. It will be so.
How may I serve?
Shields are down, gotta keep that in mind. I am splitting targets a bit, so
How may I serve?
gotta watch for that. Oh, all these wardens, so you got a lot of frigates with that said. Your custodians all sorts of screwed though. Let's go reload and get in on their face.
Ready for orders.
And ideally, oh, there's a sauce over there too. Let's not get complacent.
Closing on your position.
I kind of would like to kill the custodian, but the damage spread is really nice.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
And hopefully my fighters intercept these bombers really well. Since if they turn around, they also don't benefit from their high armor.
Accumulated
Oh, you got a protector
25%
over there
of
too, so
strategic points.
you just tank the shots for me. I think is the plan.
I serve the
And I do have lock on for the better accuracy, although at this close of range it may not matter so much anymore.
Gravitic drive to maximum.
But we're about to kill off 2 of their ships.
to spread the great
And I
good.
think only the protector or the custodian has
Calculating new
railguns left to it. Oh,
gravitic
okay.
drive engaged. Maneuvering thrusters engaged.
There, we got vision of you there, you're locked on. Oh, you're in the gas cloud. That explains that.
Honor the teachings of
Let's kill your frigates then. I am committing that to suicide, or to commit suicide, but
Honor the
considering how
teachings of
well it's
Viola.
going on the other front, I think I can live with that. I just want to kill off these frigates ideally. So you cannot benefit from your Monka any further.
Barracuda shows launched.
There, this custodian should be all but dead, and let's use these Tau to their great strength by being able to hit where their prow is not. Oh, your generator's already gone, so never mind. I don't need to do that anymore. It was a strategy I tried utilizing in the Tau mirror match in Armada 1. Just have enough of a concave where at least some of your shots are not hitting the prow. Mainly because the shields, there was an upgrade in Armada 1 that allowed their shields to also benefit from the heavy armor. At least on the prow front. And it worked out incredibly well here, but now it's a lot more easier to actually
Accumulated 50%
Okay.
of strategic points.
just take the hits there. You're kind of doing the one thing I want for you, which is just waste your time on a ship I will sacrifice. Maybe it's not an efficient trade, since after all it's 2 protectors that I just gave him. Just to tie up a sauce, a bunch of frigates and another protector, but we kill a custodian and what is it? Sauce, protector, and a custodian. I think that trade was made worthwhile. And again, I have not even fired a single seeker missile.
Failing.
Maybe I'm
Lights on all
handicapping myself some, but hey. I do have faith in the potential of the railgun some. Maybe they are technically due for a buff of sorts. But I at least do like the critical hits that they can offer with good scanner pulses. They seem to work consistently well, even on against the battleships as we've seen before.
Accumulated
But
75% of
since this is
strategic
technically a
points.
victory, I'm not going to waste my time. Let's send it out the only way the Tau player probably would know how at this point. Ah, dang it. I thought it was safe there. I was wondering about that for the briefest of moments. You also have secret missiles contributing this. Yeah, let's switch. Oh, that was reload. I just instinctually hit Shift T there instead of the T by default, since I don't think I ever switched back to lock on before since I changed my hotkeys. Or at least condensed them, I suppose is a proper term. But yeah, there's some good hits. This is over. That is game.
You have seized a strategic
I could board them for added insult to cancel their warp, but not a big deal.
Primary systems taking heavy damage.
Huh, okay, I was wondering why you weren't warping out, and that explains it. There's just this weird delay to it, I suppose. Well, that was effective. The only thing I couldn't tell you is what exactly did I win by. Since after all, I was saying it already, I wasn't using my secret missiles, so it clearly was not the raw burst potential of hitting their entire fleet. Maybe their fleet wasn't all that efficient after all, since they had a lot of frigates. I think they really want to benefit off Monka. Maybe even a target coordinator. I could not tell you. So I think it just came down to me just having the better, like, firepower in general. If I had to guess. Okay, we have ourselves a real fight, potentially. Well, with the portrait you would think so, since my ships are incredibly wide, but at the same time I have such a ridiculous fighter count, I should be able to just shoot down torpedoes quite at a decent rate, even at point-blank range. Although, the real trick will be just trying to dodge them altogether. Since I have such ridiculous agility, maybe I can do that? It really comes down to how much I pay attention to that fact. Since and the pulsars are going to be a real pain. That might be where I have issues, if I were to be honest. Since unlike the Voidstalkers, which only had like 8 pulsars to worry about, this fleet has like, what, 15 potential pulsars? And they are on 5 different ships, so it's not like I can easily cut off half their firepower. With that said, what would be a good upgrade here? I know I like the targeting coordinator. Strobe field's likely not to help, since I'm suspecting pulsars. Targeting coordinator could be good if I can ensure my frigates survive. It helps to negate the hull field a tiny bit, but not much. I'm gonna have to go with it. I don't see... Well, since there may not be any frigates, maybe I could get away with a mission dissipator some. The layout is not the most convenient for that, if I were to be honest. Especially if I'm gonna start over here. I see potential for a mission dissipator being useful, but it really is if I'm near this gas cloud, just to restrict how much they can hit me with pulsars. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, or if I'm going to be able to utilize it fully is what I'm saying. But let's get going, let's get trying here. Oh. Oh, I know who this is. This is the one with the dang 2 phoenixes, isn't it? I think I played this opponent before.
Aircast ready for orders.
And I don't have a mission dissipator, but I might as well get boosting, since they're likely to reveal me anyway. And I have the sheer fighter count to help in this regard too.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Sooner I reveal them, the better too. Actually, let me launch all my fighters. Since if I'm remembering this correctly, there are 2 torpedoes and 2 phoenixes, or at least 2 cruisers with torpedoes. Maybe pulsars, that I honestly can't remember. So, keeping my fleet together, and maybe I should have kept those. I'm trying the brute force fission so that way maybe I can actually start hitting them. Start shooting them early, because that's really damn potent. Although I do have a convenient gas cloud they can hide and utilize too. Can I hit them with the railguns? Hitting with the experimental railgun helps a ton. Nope, I'm just out of range. Never mind that. Never mind that thought. I am about to at least grab this one objective.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Just gonna make sure The flagship's not easily hit. And ideally, I hit their ships as a bonus.
Spread the greater good.
Although, this aiming is really awkward. That probably did not hit, it looks like, even with the sideways movement.
How may I serve the Tauva?
So try as I might. And they have access to the gas cloud, which
Corel,
not a big deal yet, but if my opponent's going to try and flank me,
Imperials guide us.
I might as well make it difficult for them to
we serve
at least hit the targets they want. This looks weird, that my fighter's little sensor radius is still being seen, but okay, I'll go with it. And I did prioritize generators, right?
Aircast ready for orders.
You have seized a strategic area.
Okay, that was a bit odd.
The ethereals guide us. At your orders, Koro. Barracuda drones launched.
So gonna try and stasis bomb the fighters on, interestingly. Okay. I think, maybe?
For Onva, it will be so.
Well, that's a promising start. If you're gonna ram yourself, by all means, ram yourself for me.
Aircast ready for orders.
Okay, I guess
Honor the
I was
teachings
wrong
of Yara.
about, well, about close-range torpedoes, but I can dodge relatively well. And there's more torpedoes coming.
Hunter gets the prey.
As the ethereals wish.
Now let's go full out. Let's charge these fellas.
How may I serve the Tauva?
Gravity
I want to fire secret missiles too. Let's not get complacent.
At your orders, Koro. Calculating new vector.
Kill these now.
To the shoals
Yes, I lose my shields, but that is a small consequence for killing one of their most fearsome ships. There, got a hit there. Not very exciting, but it's still anybody's game if they could continue to do damage to me. Especially with me not launching secret missiles just yet.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Can I ram them? I do want secret missiles.
reporting losses amongst our escorts.
I don't have any fighters or bombers to Node 2, so that's going to be a bit of a problem.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic.
It's really messy, though. But thankfully, I have lots of weaponry, although that boost was a bit of a bad timing for me.
Spread the greater good. Aircast ready for
Now
orders.
repair, fire all secret missiles, aimed right at the cruiser's ass. I don't care about the Phoenix here.
You have
But conveniently, it's taking the hits for me too.
strategic points.
Again, a bit of a mess, but I think victory is assured here.
Greater good.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to concede. This is a bad time to try and concede. Okay. I don't know what to make of that there. But yeah,
The
even
ethereals
though
has been lost.
it looked promising, the morale was threatening to make things fall apart for me. Since with all the mutinies I just got there, that would suck. Okay. I'm curious about something. If you're a level 1 fleet, how the hell did you get the portrait? There's something at work here that that I don't quite understand. I thought you would have to play matches to get that unlocked. So something's lying to me, I just don't know what it is.